what I will be doing is that I will be taking out the submissions that I have received, and I will go through that. So let me go ahead and pull up the submission that I have received. Right, let me just go ahead and find it. And by the way, just so you know, as how I mentioned throughout all of the training, what I'm doing here is that I want you to build a business in a way that you can model what I do, right? So I don't use fancy stuff. I mean, I can hire someone to do all kind of fancy stuff. I can get someone to follow me to record videos and so on, but I'm not going to do any of those. And the reason is because I want to build the training in a way that you can model what I do. So this is why I keep everything really, really simple, because you may not have employees, you may not have a team, right? How can you do it by just yourself if you want to, right? So like for instance, I'm using a software called Ecamm Live to do this. I'm using Facebook Live so that you can do the same. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can model this. You can be doing an online training even in different niche market, whether it is about marriage, for instance. It could be about chess training. It could be about self-help, anything, right? So let's go ahead and go through this. So we have from Serinchi, and I'm so glad that Serin that you start taking action. You just got on board and you are already taking action. So that's really, really awesome, right? So this is what Serin shared. Hi Patrick, I currently finished module 2 of CB Super Affiliate training. I've chosen the marriage and relationship niche as it's something I'm personally interested in. As mentioned in my question on the Facebook group, I'm considering equalrelationships.com because it may be something I'm looking to develop later on. A book based on equality in a relationship. I was thinking I want to do the book properly. It could be as my own product later on, or I could get a shorter version or something as the free physical book. I've also choose save the marriage product on ClickBank. What do I do next? Great. So now you have the framework. Let me just make the font bigger so that everyone can follow here. So you have the framework, and I'm very impressed that you have decided your niche market, because there are people who still stuck on base one. They couldn't decide what niche market they want to get on, but you go ahead and say, hey, you know what, this is the niche market that I want to get into. So you have identified the first step, which is great, right? You even have the domain name in mind, equalrelationships.com. So the domain name is good, is great. I would add on is that your product should revolve around that brand. So if it's equal relationships, could be something that is related to that. Like for instance, right? Like how do you enhance a relationship by creating an ambience and atmosphere where each of your spouse feels equal responsibility and so on, right? Now, I know you have your own answer or your own content to be developed, but I just want to touch base to enhance again that if you use equal relationships, it should not be another product about marriage or relationship. It should be about equal. So I don't have a book with me here right now, but I'm just trying to give you an example of a brand that is created based on a word. I'm looking at my books that I don't have here in this house. It's in the other house. But there's a book called Extreme You, right? It's by a very famous author. I do not remember her name. I just bought that book, Extreme You. So Extreme You is about, being extreme, going to the extreme, pushing you to the best and so on. So the whole concept about Extreme You, Extreme, it is not just the meaning of extreme, but Extreme You is her brand, right? So can you find an angle related to the word equal for you? Now, I can't really tell you what it is because this is not my product and I do not know the concept behind your equal definition in this sense. So once you have that, you want them to be embraced about the concept first, about the brand of equal. So you want them to accept that and get excited with the brand, and then only you review the content or what you have to offer to sell. So your question is that what should you do next, right? So you got your domain name, you got the concept of your product, and you probably have some content developed, right? So you're saying that you see that this is something that can become a springboard for you to create your own proper book. Is that correct? Now, my next question is this, is that do you see yourself being able to turn this content that you want to produce into video trainings. That what I'm doing right now into video trainings. Is this something that you feel that you can pick it up, that you can do? So I'm just going to step further into this. So there are two options that you can go around from here. First, you build your brand with the equal relationship brand, right? That could be big if you do it right, and it's not just in the local market, it could be a ClickBank worldwide market, right? So the first thing that you need to decide is that how are you going to build this brand? In order for you to build this brand, you need to generate some income at the back of it. But of course, generating income is not a priority right now, because when you want to build a business, always remember this: generating income, it is not the priority. Generating income is the fun, FUND, your objective of launching your business. Most newbie fails hardcore loss because they are too much into monetization. They're thinking, hey, I need to make money, I need to make money, I need to make money. And that's why so many people are victims of scammers. And if you just go to the internet, and then there will be like a gazillion of courses, gazillion of opportunities out there that tells you, hey, you can make passive income and all those kind of nonsense. And people will just eat those up, all day long, right? Because they don't understand the mindset of being an entrepreneur, right? They just want quick money, quick money, quick money, right? I'm not saying that quick money is bad. I'm saying that you got to do it in a way that you just focus on making money to cover your expenses at this moment of time until you build your business. Once you build your brand, once you build your business, the money will just come to you, right? So going back to here, if you're camera shy, that's okay. So what you do is that you put up your web page, and you do not need to have advanced copy, simply because that you are not selling a product, in the sense that you're not selling like a $50 product or $100 product. You are focused on, say, giving away a free book. I'll touch base on this later on, but right now I just want you to understand the entire blueprint first, okay? So imagine this, right? You have your content. Let's say you do an ebook. You can, but if you do an ebook, guess what? Your value is less attractive, right? If you do as a physical book, it is more impressive. So if you have a physical book, even though this is a shorter version, you can put out a web page and tell them that you're giving this book away for free, right? So whatever fees that you charge should somehow cover the expenses of your book fulfillment. Now, sometimes it may cost you a bit money, but that's all right, because if I'm reading your post correctly, you have found a book called Save the Marriage Product on ClickBank. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to ClickBank and look for this product to see how it goes, okay? The earlier part is the most challenging part, but once you get this moving, it is so easy. Like for instance, before I'm doing this training, I was just in my ads account and I was just working on running my next ads. It is such a simple model once you get things rolling. So I'm going to go to, I think it's under marriage. So by the way, in terms of relationship, and ClickBank market is crazy. I mean, it's very competitive, right? This is like a whole different story of its own. So, but they are mostly towards those dating, how to get girlfriends, how to attract men, women, that kind of stuff. So save the marriage system. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click here and see this. Bestselling and sold 73,000 copies and continue with excellent conversion, blah blah blah, and so on. Right, so let's see here. So I'm just going to share with you some idea on how to see a product, whether it's a good product to promote or not, all right? Okay, so the sales page looks good. I am quite sure it will convert with the right audience. Okay, let's see how much it's selling right now. All right, so you're getting 70% of the product. Let's see, it's $47. So you make 70%, which means you make about $30 or so on, right? So that should be good for you to build up some income for your business. So what you can do is that if you want to do it this way, what you can do, this is how I suggest you to play around with this. So once they go to your webpage and you're offering this free book, right? And yes, win is 47 US dollar. So they go there and they see your offer. You say, hey, you position yourself as the expert and so on. You have to craft your own story and so on, all those things that I teach, especially your persona, like why they should listen to you, that kind of process and so on, so that you're very unique. So once you have that, they go to your webpage, then they subscribe or they purchase. Okay, so now when I use the word subscribe, I'm going to get to that shortly, so stay with me at this moment of time. So they go there, they purchase the book, and then they go to the thank you page, right? Now, when they go to the thank you page, this is where you can promote the book. I mean, the affiliate program. So there are a few ways how you can promote the affiliate program. You can do a hardcore endorsement, or you can do a review style. A hardcore endorsement will say that, hey, I see that you get the equal relationship book, and I know this is great and so on. But at the same time, one of the program that I found on the internet that is amazing, blah blah. So this is where you do like hardcore endorsement. You say you gotta check this out, and then they will click, and then it goes through your affiliate link, and that's how you make your affiliate sales, right? But once they purchase your book or subscribe, I'll get back to that shortly, you have captured your own database. So you're building your own asset, right? Now, the review style is like you can review the product as in like it's more mellow. It says that, hey, I come across this course called blah blah blah, and I think it's good because yada yada and so on, right? That's another way. If you are a bit too concerned about selling, then you can provide an article at a thank you page that is related to saving marriage, right? And then at the end of that, you should recommend the resource for them to go through. Now, that would be the least converting way to do it, which means that you will get the less conversion if you use the third approach. The first approach, the hardcore endorsement, will give you the most conversion in that sense. So you send the traffic to the affiliate program page right now, and if it converts, you make money. If it doesn't convert at the thank you page, that's still okay because you're going to do follow-up emails from there. Okay, now I'm going to share with you the entire blueprint, and then we'll break it down a bit from here and there. Now, as I was saying that when you do a free book offer, sometimes they don't buy the book, but you still capture the leads. So here's what I mean. So let me just go to my example. Okay, so when they go to the web page, although it's a book offer, but when they click here, do you see that it actually pulls up an opt-in? So they'll type John, whatever it is, at Gmail and so on. You see, this is how you'll be able to capture the leads even though they don't become a customer. So what you're doing is that you're actually building free subscribers and also paid customers. This is why the free book offer, it is very powerful. The book offer, it is still very powerful in its own nature, because if you do a physical book offer, you can still get free subscribers. So technically what happens is that they come here, they key in, and then the system will follow up emails with them to buy the book if they haven't buy the book, right? But if they have purchased the book, then the follow-up email stop on this process. And let's not too worry about the technicality of it. If you just use, say, any autoresponder like Aweber, they will be able to explain to you how to do this automation. It's really as simple as setting up a chat message with them and say, hey, this is my list of subscribers, this is my customer list. I want those people who have purchased no longer receive the emails from here. That's it, right? So going back to here, this process here, if they have bought the book, they will be added into your customer list. If they are subscribed, they will have added into your subscriber list, right? So both of them will follow up emails with them to buy the affiliate program at this moment of time. And that affiliate program is going to help you to generate some income to fund your expenses at this moment of time. So when do they pay for shipping and handling? Now, after they have opt-in, right? After they have opt-in, you will take them to the checkout page. And in this case, I'm using ClickBank, so they will go to the checkout page. So if you're using ClickBank, then it's ClickBank. If you're not using ClickBank, it could be any types of payment that you use. Okay. So that is basically the thing that I want you to work on first at this moment of time. We don't want to get too in-depth where it becomes very confusing later on. So what I want you to do at this moment of time is that you want to set up your web page. That's the very first thing that you're going to do. Get your equal relationship and you're going to set up a web page, and if you want, you can bounce some idea with me in terms of your brand, how to position it, how to make it unique, and so on. I mean, that's probably one of my forte, so to speak. I help my clients to develop their $1 million brands and so on. So that's what you want to do right now, the copy for your webpage. And in terms of your product, right? So now you have the small version in that sense that you can use that first. If you don't want to do the physical book, you can still do for free ebook. You can, but I just think that the effectiveness will become a little bit less, right? Now, after that, right, you can improve your book if you want to, like the what I understand from your message, and then you could sell that in ClickBank or anywhere else, okay? But we're not going to get there first at this moment of time. There's like so many things that you can go for from here, but through a progressive coaching, I want you to overcome one step first, get it all done, and then we go to the next one. And I believe that is the best way how I've helped my clients to achieve success, not by putting everything right away. And if you can follow stats like in sequence, I'm confident that I can help you to build a business. So let's move to the next one. Okay, so this is from Joey. I love how Joey is progressing. I mean, she is a doer. She is really on progressive coaching right now. This is to continue from her previously. So I'm just gonna give a short overview of Joey's project. So what she did is that this is something really cool. She partnered with someone. I assume she partnered with someone. Someone's named Marcus, who is a chess expert, right? And she is helping Marcus to digitalize his expertise into online product. Now, isn't that cool or what? It's a very, very niche market. And this is a classic example where you don't need to be an expert or knowledgeable for you to start digital e-commerce business. That is like the biggest myth, right? It is about learning what I teach. It's about understanding the blueprint I've given to you and applying the marketing strategies that you're learning here. Because with that knowledge, right, you can partner with anyone else with the expertise for you to grow. Now, I'm not sure about you, but that itself makes me very, very excited, knowing the fact that you don't even need to be an expert. You can either partner with someone or even just do affiliate marketing. Are you guys excited or what? I mean, Joey just did with chess. Chess. I mean, wow. Okay, so question. Hi Patrick, this is my second review submission for Marcus Chess Masterclass. I've created a new landing page. The URL is masterclass.marcuschess.com. I have yet to create product in affiliates.com.my. Thus, the click to order button is not active yet. As for the Facebook video ads, I plan to use one session of training video whereby Marcus is teaching, and at the end of the video will lead them to a landing page as stated in one. Thank you for your 10-day copywriting checklist. This is really great and simple guide. I've also referred to your internet to income landing page as guidance on the landing page design and layout. Thanks, Joey. All right, so I'm just going to go through your website right now and to do some review. So let me pull out the video. Okay, so here we have, I'm going to give you the overview review first, and then I'm going to suggest to you what are the things that you want to consider editing in that sense, okay? So you have the headline, we have the video, we have the content, we have the social proof, we have the testimonials, more social proof, and then we have the call to action, right? So this should be all right in the sense that you are selling to the local market, and the local market, it is always much more easier and much more affordable to penetrate in, right? So I understand that this page is following internet to income layout, and it's good that you model that, right? But at the same time, right, you may not want to use that simply because the identity it's not the same. Let me explain. The niche is not the same. I mean, for the chess niche market, you are talking to more towards like parents and kids and so on. So the rate thing, it's not really a good idea in that sense. And early bird doesn't make sense unless it's a live class. Now, is this an online course or it's a live class? If it's an online course, I think you should want to remove this because it doesn't make sense, right? Okay, so next, now your child can improve chess game. Now your child can improve chess game. Now, do you see that when I read that out, it's a bit tongue twisted, right? So you want to have a sentence where it has the benefits in it, right? Like for instance, right? Let me just think of a sentence. Okay, so what do they get if their child can improve chess? Tell me, what do they get? Why would they need to win the next chess tournament competition? So now we have Marcus here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and play.
Hello, this is National Master Marcus Chan. For the past 10 years.
Okay, you see when I pause it, all this thing starts coming up because you're using YouTube. You may not want to use YouTube in that sense. Or if you're using YouTube, right, you want to set it so that it doesn't display more things. If you can do the setting. If not, this is going to distract them to click on something else. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play now.
Many chess champions.
So the one that I use is Vimeo. You can use the lower version if you want to, and it should be quite effective in terms of your cost. So let's go back to the headline. You say for them to win medal, right? So I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to say now your child can win chess medal when they are in a competition easily. Now I'm just making this up. Now I got to, of course, think properly. I just give you a headline in a split seconds. So I could say that, for instance, how to train your child to win medals in a chess competition with no stress, right? So you want to have a lot of benefits in it. Play around with that. And if you're using like a black color background, the text, I wouldn't use yellow because this is not, I mean, I don't want it to look too fierce in that sense. I mean, it's for parents and for kids. Like if you see the earlier website, the Safe Marriage website, do you see that it's very cozy, it's very bluish, very white base and so on? Because it's about marriage, it's about a relationship, right? They're not going to use, striking red, black and so on. It's just not the right theme in that sense. So this background, I would even consider, instead of having a color background, I would even consider to have, say, an image background, like image background of Marcus teaching the students. Okay, so I'm just going to give you one example. Like for instance, my website, let's say. Okay, now I'm not saying that you have to use mine. I'm just giving you some idea. So the background, if you see, is actually my picture at the background, but it doesn't have to be this dark. It can be a bit brighter, right? So that people can actually see it. So Joey, you're asking, but won't that become a guarantee? Not really. It's not going to be a guarantee. You're just saying how your child can win medals. I'm not saying that your child will win medals, right? How your child can win medals in chess competition by following a simple formula of playing chess. Don't use that headline. I'm just giving an example. There's a lot of way how you can play around with the headlines. Okay, so you're seeing this. So let's go to the website again. So this video, it's okay, but I think that you don't put full width. You do a 3/4 video size. Like for instance, this is a 3/4 video size. Okay, it's not a full width video because full width is like two to your face, and there's nothing much in terms of the video. But if you can have a better quality video, that would be nicer because this looks a bit dull, right? Anyway, in terms of the paragraph here, I don't really go inside and read every word for it, but what I can tell you is that when you're writing this copy, you want to break it down. Like the paragraph is too chunky in a sense. It's hard to read. So for instance, this could be like a new sentence, right? So dear chess parents, your child is staring at the chessboard. Then I can put dot 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 dot. Then I have a next sentence. While thinking hard counting the move, the chess clock is counting down faster. The next sentence. Your wish only if your child could think of the next best move quickly. but, comma, your child's opponent is so strong. There is nothing much your child can do. Your child has done, this is a new sentence, your child has, okay, this typo, has done the best. The only thing you wish for is to improve your child's chess skill, right? Okay. So now I'm not going to change your copywriting. This is the for copywriting, I can't really like teach you here. It's about writing a lot and go through manuals, training, and so on. But I can just give you some tactics, some key points. Okay. So what you're going to do is the opening here. Maybe you want to start with a punchy sentence. For instance, if you want your child to win on the next chess tournament and to avoid disappointment again, then read this letter because I may have the solution for you. Again, just an example. Then only you get into the story. So when you do all this story, you may want to have like a Marcus picture here at the side there, and then with all the text is as if that he's the one that's talking to them, blah blah blah, and so on, blah blah blah, and so on. Okay, and then there's all these very nice testimonials, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. Okay, super early, but it doesn't make sense to call super early bird discount because this is an online course. So it should be called like maybe launch discount. That's something that I usually use. Launch discount, pre-launch discount, the one that you want. And it doesn't make sense to say the next 129 people to order will get everything mentioned on this page for just, it doesn't make sense in that sense, right? It doesn't make sense in that sense. Okay, so what you say is that we are launching the product online right now. And for the first 100 customers, we will offer it for 59 ringgit, which is a discount of 100 ringgit because we are gathering feedbacks. So you can do that angle, right? Then you don't need to have this box here, and then you can go ahead with some call to action, and then have the button order now and get access to a second masterclass video. So I wouldn't use get to the second masterclass. I would say, like get a copy of the Secret of Chess masterclass today so that you can get started on all the modules immediately. Something like that, right? And then you have your call to action, right? Your satisfaction is 100% guarantee. This one you probably want to make it a bigger font size and you don't need to underline it. Then PS supposed to be below your signature. Okay, so here you mentioned there's bonuses, right? So if you have bonuses, you got to explain the bonuses because the bonuses is your advantage. Sometimes people buy for the bonuses. So what are the bonuses you want to expand on that and promote? Then we have the FAQ, who is suitable and all this kind of stuff. This is all great. And at the end here, you should have the order button again, just to make sure that you don't miss the sales. Okay. Okay, the beginning of the story is nice. All right, so you got some of those. Now, the other thing that I would consider doing is that I may make the website less wide, right? I will make it a bit narrow so it's a bit easier for the eyes to see. So like if you see my website, for instance, you will see that there are quite some space on the left and right. Now, there are websites that it goes far, like really wide, and those kind of websites use a lot of graphics. Now, if you don't use a lot of graphics, it's going to be very chunky and it's just text and it doesn't look that nice. And this is just some designs that I can share with you. Okay. All right. So now, and the reason why I can come out with all this like just like that, it's not that I am being arrogant or what, because I have trained so many students, thousands and thousands of students for the past 15 years, and I've seen all kinds of model, and me myself have many of my own digital e-commerce business running. So when I'm teaching you, I'm actually teaching you based on my experience, stuff that I know. If stuff that I do not know, I'll say that I do not know. I don't pretend to know, but things that I think, hey, this will work, this is going to be really solid stuff, man, you have a winner, right? Now, so let's go back to here on the marketing aspect. So let's go back to your marketing question. Okay, this is about the Facebook video ads, okay? So here's how you should be running your Facebook ads. Let me just put out my video here. So you have one video which is content, right? And you run the video content, right? So you drive traffic to that video. Now, once they watch that video, after they watch the video, you have another ad that gets them to this landing page that you have created. So this is something that I teach in Social Strategic 2.0. Now, the thing that you have to keep in mind is that the first video that you're producing, it's about chess. Means that you're targeting your audience are people who like chess, right? But there's also another untapped opportunity for your market is that there are people who never thought of getting started with chess, right? And chess could be, say, a solution for children to improve, say, their creativity, their innovation, and so on. You see where I'm coming from? So this is why I say there's more opportunity than just the simple part there, right? So I'm telling you all these ideas, but I don't expect you to do anything about it at this moment of time, right? Simply because I want you to focus to improve your web page, to get everything done, to get the system done, so to speak, right? But if Marcus Chess have a offline class, right? So now the upsell could be now you can get them enrolled to the offline class, and the offline class will have a fee, a recurring fee, right? With the recurring fee, you're now making passive income out of someone else's work. Okay, so Aziza mentioned about going for affiliate marketing. That's great. You definitely can start affiliate marketing. When I first start, I too start with affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing has many approaches and so on. The one that I teach is mostly about building your own brand so that you can do affiliate marketing in a much less effort than competing with the rest of the common affiliates in that sense, right? Like for one of my client, one of my ex-student, his name is Sufyan. Sufyan is a guy who have not too big list. I think about a few thousand, but he's always the top affiliate in his market in this industry. And one of the reasons is because he focused on building his brand and his followers follow him, right? So someone with a bigger list may not even win him because he has a brand and he has his own followings in that sense. So I'm just saying is that I'm teaching you what way that will give you the best results, but it's going to require you more work, right? But isn't that how every single thing works here, right? The short-term stuff, like making money and stuff like that. Come on, I mean, let's get real. You got to hustle for it. You got to build a system, and if you build a system, then yes, everything else will be less effort, right? So Joey says, actually, we started with offline class, and I saw the opportunity online class, right? So you can also run ads. The same concept of what you did here right now. If you want to get things even started fast, you could do the same process. Run the ads there, right? Run the content ad, and then turn the sales page that you have created into a pitch for the offline class, right? Which the product is already ready because it's the offline class, an ongoing class. And tell them, hey, go ahead and register. And this is a WhatsApp, and you just need to pay. I'm just making this up, right? Like $10 or something like that. That is like the registration fee, and you get the first 30 days for free, right? The reason why you do a registration fee is because otherwise everybody will just register and don't show up, right? So it could be 10 ringgit or whatever it is, and first week free or whatever it is, and you just fill in the room, and Marcus Chess is going to grow. And after that, with that Marcus Chess, his brand, he can change his pricing structure and everything else. Okay. So if you want, we can talk a bit about Facebook. Just want to give you some extra tips about lead gen. So today I just get on a call with my Facebook marketing expert. If you run Facebook ads, right, you have the advantage of getting on a call with a marketing expert, right? And that is much more valuable than you attending Facebook classes. Seriously, because you're talking to someone who sees hundreds or even thousands of other people's campaign, right? So use that, leverage on that. If you got a chance to get on a call with a marketing expert from Facebook, do that, right? They will help you as much as they can. So the bring out is that one of the tip that they share with me is that the lead form for lead generation can be very powerful because there's a lot of rules that you can set. Like for instance, if the person have seen the lead form but did not register, those people who have registered but did not go through the action and so on. So when you do that, right, you can set up your rules very well, and that will help you to get better conversions. Now, with the lead form, the thing is that the quality of the opt-in, in my experience when I ran that last time, I stopped running that, is that the quality, it's not that good, right? Because it's pre-filled. The name, the email is pre-filled, and they just need to click submit, which is good and bad, which means that it gets more leads, but they don't think, they don't type, right? So they just press submit, and you capture the lead. So it's quite important that you have to monetize right away after they have opt-in in that sense. So that is one key point. And when you do the monetization, you got to make sure that, of course, the website is mobile friendly. Now, whatever I say to you may sound so logic, but I kid you not, so many people overlook all the small little matters. They do the lead form, and then they have some offer at the thank you page, but they didn't realize the thank you page offer, it is not mobile friendly page, and lead form only works on mobile, on phones, right? So imagine they go to a thank you page, they click on it, and then they see this website that is like not mobile friendly, and that's where the conversion drops like crazy, right? I'm just going to give you some tips here and there from my experience with running ads. So we have Nazro. I'm using Facebook ads selling book entrepreneurship niche for client using Messenger objective for campaign. All right, so when you're doing this, right, Nazro, how much on average you are getting per send message? I mean, how much is the cost on average? Like when you run the ads, like they type in like, "Hi, I want to know more," right? When they submit inside there, how much on average is costing you? Okay, around 4 to 5 ringgit per message, right? Now, I'm not too sure about your industry and so on, right? It's a bit high for you to monetize, right? I mean, like 4 to 5 ringgit for one message because you're selling like books. You're selling a book. A book could sell for, I don't know, about 40, 50, whatever the price is, and it's costing you 4 to 5 ringgit per chat, right? So the solution for this is that, Nazro, you have to work on your funnel. Now, this is where we talk on a totally separate topic, is that after they buy the book, what is your entire funnel? So without that funnel, you cannot help your client to achieve success. So the book price is 129, right? 129. So on average, about 4 ringgit. Let's say we take on the lower price of 4 ringgit, which means 10, 20 out of about 30 messages, you need to get one book sale, right? I mean, you can still achieve that. That's if we're taking on lower price. So the thing here is that you got to be strong at your funnel. So like for instance, in my business model, my funnel is that I have my book, and then I have my workshop, which you have attended. And after my workshop, I have this program which you are in right now. So that is basically my offline funnel. So I believe that, Nazro, you're doing offline. So you gotta have your offline funnel. So going back to here, my book, I lose money all the time, but that's okay because it builds my brand. And at the same time, it adds a lot of good points where they say, hey, this is really good stuff, right? And then they go to a workshop, they pay a fee, where we don't really make money from a workshop as well because of the venue cost. Then they go for the program, which is this program, which is the program that I love doing, and that's where we're able to generate income from it. So there are like 3 steps in that sense. But at the same time, if I want to expand on this, we also have an online course that we can offer to them, right? So the next point is that I want to share with you, Nazro, is that one of the way to decrease the cost of your ads is actually to focus on your audience. One of the thoughts that people have is to improve on the click-through rate. The higher the click-through rate, the lower the cost. That could be somewhat true, but it is not entirely true. In theory, the way how you decrease your cost is having the right target audience. And if your target audience is correct, you definitely lower the cost of your 4 to 5 ringgit. We're going to do the last question for today. Saleh, I have a few ebooks written by my sister for baking niche. However, she doesn't put her name as the author, but her brand instead. I intend to promote her ebook, possibly video tutorial in the future, but is it doable by just using her brand name? She currently has 30k plus followers on Facebook. The answer is basically to run and test it and see how it goes. However, is there a reason that why she doesn't want to use her name? Because if she used her name, she will have better conversion. She use a brand, unless she's, you see, a brand name is usually based on the person. When the person has the brand, it will lead towards the brand itself. Like let's take Apple. Apple, you think of Steve Jobs, right? Steve Jobs is Apple. Virgin Group is Sir Richard Branson. We think of Alibaba, we think of Jack Ma. Do you see that the name actually enhance on the brand itself? So it's much more easier to build the name for success in the sense that get followers and so on, and then you can move to the brand if you want to. It's all about testing whether it works or not. So if you think of like Gary Vaynerchuk, right? You remember him, you don't remember VaynerMedia, you don't remember VaynerX. Those are his companies. I mean, you know because you know Gary Vaynerchuk, right? But you can still split your personal brand and your company brand, and that's not a problem. When you're big, you can actually do that, right? So in my opinion, I think if she has like 30k plus followers on Facebook, it's just about running an ad and testing it. Like I will run an ad with an offer to my fans, tell them I have this online course, and see how many people should buy, right? If I have people who buy, then I start building the course. If nobody buys, right, I could either refund or I could just offer. I mean, when I say nobody, I'm referring to very little people. I could either refund or I could say, hey, I have another replacement product. Here's the books. So I'm not going to do the online course. You can get all the books for what you have paid for, or I can refund you back your money. Okay? That's it for today. All right, guys. See you then.